Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is not so bright and early anymore. It's noon straight up here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I was busy doing some stuff around the apartment here, a little painting and whatnot. I was posting some my paintings on my community page. I want to do that a little more. Some people are interested in seeing some more of my artwork that I've been doing recently, so I'll be posting some of that on my community page. Anyway, I just every so often I check to see what's going on in the news, if there's something happening that I want to talk about. And I just came across a clip from Fox News, and it's Greg Gutfeld. I think this guy stands all of I don't think he's even 5 feet tall. Not that has really anything to do with this, but he's just a little dude with a big mouth and crazy ideas. The clip I came across is troubling and scary, to say the least. You guys have seen the videos I've done recently, and I'm very concerned. I am very concerned about what's going to happen in 2024 if Trump continues to run for president. If he wins, if he loses, either way, I just don't see any good turnout for this entire country. It really looks like we're headed for a cliff, in my opinion. And I hear my family, there's a few people in my family that watch Fox News exclusively and are Trump supporters, unfortunately. And I've had these people say to me, Daryl, I don't even want to live anymore. There's crime everywhere. The country's going to, and I was like, are you serious? What, give me an example. What are you talking about? Specifically that you don't even want to live anymore. And I don't get any answers. But there's a clip down below from Greg Gutfeld from Fox News, and it's to say, I don't even know the right word to classify this. It's alarming. Okay, let me run it down for you, and the clip will be right down below. Basically, what he's calling for is the elimination of liberals and Democrats, the suspension of voting, and a civil war. Just basically hunting down the other side and forcing them, meaning Democrats, hunting down liberal Democrats and either taking them out or forcing them to believe what he believes. And he compares it to slavery. He says, back during slavery, we knew slavery was really bad. And the other side just wouldn't change. That would mean that they would have to change. They would have to admit they were wrong. So he comes up with this theory about slavery, and that's why there was a civil war, because they couldn't change their ways. And he compares this to now. He says the country, that voting does not work. The reason he gives for this is, he said, a Democrat, a moderate Democrat. He said Joe Biden was promised he'd be a moderate and he would unite the country. And he starts talking about there's crime rampant, and the education system has been torn apart, and the borders are open, and the whole country. So he's calling for like a suspension of voting, of democracy, and war to force Democrats. And the reasons he says voting doesn't work. And the other Fox News hosts are actually trying to back him up on it, trying to get him to back off this. And he's still going full bore on this. And so let's start with voting. Let's be honest here. The only reason he thinks voting doesn't work is he's one of those people that believes Donald Trump won. And that's what scares me about 2024. Whether Trump wins or whether Trump loses. If he wins, you're going to have people like this that are going to, their whole idea of changing, of forcing other people to believe what they believe. The part about education. It's funny that this person here is complaining about education, because from what I see, Republicans and the whole MAGA movement is trying to tear apart public schools. Like, I went to a public school. We had fantastic public schools, and we still do here in Connecticut. Some of the best public schools probably in the country here in Connecticut. And you have this book banning and don't say this and don't say that stuff down in Florida. And here's Greg Gutfeld saying that that this is all because of the Democrats. And then the crime. Let's get into the crime thing. The statistics I looked up, they'll be down below. I just started looking into this. The Connecticut, not the criminal researchers. There's a few links down below. And crime's actually gone down from the first part of 2023 to the second part of 2023. Crime is slightly up from pre-pandemic to post-pandemic times. Crime is slightly higher, but a lot of crimes, a lot of the more violent crimes have been dropping down. There's one exception: car thefts. Car thefts have pretty much skyrocketed, and personally, around here, I know what the problem is. The problem is the automakers, Hyundai and Kia, made these vehicles that were very easily stolen. Here in this parking lot outside, we had like five cars stolen in 1 month, and they were all Hyundais and Kias. And this is because the manufacturers. Then I started looking up, like, let's say, gun deaths and gun violence, homicides. I'll use some of the maps I found, and just from 2023, 2022, and the highest gun crimes, the highest gun deaths are in what you would classify as red states. Look at the maps. Look at the links I have down below. And this was just a preliminary research. You know, I decided I wasn't going to get real deep into this because I would rather you guys just do your own research. But there's a lot of people out there that don't do any research, like the people in my family. They just watch Fox News. They watch people like Greg Gutfeld. And they just tell themselves, oh my, the country, and if I'm not mistaken too, Joe Biden, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but I'm pretty sure manufacturing jobs did fantastic this last, like 300,000 new manufacturing jobs or something along those lines. Bidenomics and all this other stuff. The country is doing better. But if you watch Fox News, Greg Gutfeld and, Tucker Carlson's no longer there, but you get this whole different, this fear mongering that the country is falling apart. That in this clip, Greg Gutfeld says that good law-abiding people like him have to shore their families up against this wave of violence that's chasing them out of the cities. It's like the apocalypse, and according to him, his families are cowering, are running from their homes and cowering and on the move, trying to hide from the violent liberal Democrats. Oh, and then of course he brings up this too, going back to BLM and what happened with the protests. And according to him, there was looting and pillaging and burning across the entire country, and they got he calls it a mulligan. They got a mulligan. They got a free pass on it. That's not true. As a matter of fact, some of those people were taken out by the likes of what was his name, Kyle Rittenhouse. What's his name? Rittenhouse. But then he compares that to January 6th, the people that actually went in and tried to hang the vice president and overthrow the government. He says, oh, they didn't get a free pass. And so he does this whole comparison again. So his whole back up to this. He's calling for a civil war to hunt down, forget about voting, to hunt down the liberal Democrats, because in his mind, they're responsible for all the crime and everything across the entire country. Never mind that most of this, the predominant gun deaths and violence are in red states: Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama. Look at the links I just found down below, and these aren't links from like left-leaning sites. This is like government statistics, and what he's saying is just total crap, total bull. A lot of the violence is in actual red states. A lot of the worst education is in red states. A lot of the voting, people getting caught for voting fraud are in the red states. There was just another article about somebody being caught in the Villages, voting with his dead father's ID. So the stuff that he's accused, it's bizarre. The stuff that he's accusing the liberal Democrats, and the whole reason that he wants to take them all out or force them to believe like he does and suspend voting. And a lot of this stuff is going on more in Republican states, in the MAGA states. Just look it up. Look it up for yourselves if you don't believe me. I was going to sit here and write down all the statistics and everything. I was like, you know what? If people really want to see what's going on, let them Google it themselves. So Google it yourselves and see what the truth is. And the truth is, that nothing's gotten worse. A lot of things have gotten better. And a lot of the worst stuff is in Republican or red states. So Greg Gutfeld is a little short man who is afraid of his own shadow. That's my hypothesis for this whole thing. The link will be down below. I'll put this clip of him. It's insane. It's insane, but it scares me for what's going to be coming up in 2024, because there's a lot more Greg Gutfelds and a lot more people that think just like him. And like I said, if Trump wins, if Trump loses, what's going to happen? Just some thoughts. I hope I can download this video. I've said a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it'll be able to be monetized. We'll see. Have a good Saturday.